In this video, we are going to study about the set of numbers, sequences. Here, sequences are defined in the natural numbers. First, we need to know that one. Second one is we are going to define the sequence with respect to mathematical orders here. And as you see, these are the terms of the sequence. And there is a rule here. A1 is called the first term, A2 is the second term, which is 4. This is A1, this is A2 is going to be, and this is A3, and this is A4. And here, as you understand, the terms are 1, 4, 9. These are the squares of the natural numbers, which start with 1. So it's equal to 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square. The next one, 7 square, 36, 49 is going to be. Okay, then an is called also nth term or general term, we should mention here. And when you write an term in parentheses, it represents the sequence. It represents the sequence. And in another way, when you write the digits, the terms here in order like this, this is called also sequence. Okay. Write the first 5 terms of the sequence. Normally, A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5 are the first 5 terms of the sequence. And this is the general term, and it is given an is equal to 1 over n. So, what is the number here? I'm going to replace with 1 over n form. So, a1 is going to be equal to 1 over n. An is equal to 1 over n. So, this implies that 1 over 1, then 1 over 2, and then 1 over 3, then 1 over 4, and 1 over 5 is going to be. Okay. This is the first term. Now we are going to continue with the second question. Given the sequence with a general term 4n minus 5 over 2n, find a5, a minus 2, and a100. So when you're finding the an, this is the general term of the sequence. It says that multiply what is written here in a number, multiply that one by 4, then subtract 5 from the result, and divide by 2 times of the number. Okay, then a5 is going to be equal to 4 times 5 minus 5 over 2 times 5, which is equal to 20 minus 5 over 10, which is equal to 15 over 10. And if we simplify, it's going to be equal to, they are both divisible by 5. The answer is going to be 3 over 2. Okay, a minus 2. A minus 2 is not term of a sequence because minus 2 is not element of natural numbers. That's why minus 2 is not element of natural numbers. The terms should be element of natural numbers. This is very important for the sequence. So 100 is going to be equal to 4 times 100 minus 5 over 2 times 100 it's going to be, and it is going to be equal to 4 times 100 is equal to 400 minus 5 over here this is going to be 200, and both numbers divisible, this is going to be 395 over here this is going to be 200, and we can simplify by 5 up and down. Here it's going to be equal to, when you divide by 5, this is 80 minus 5, 80 minus 1, which is 79 over, this is divided by 5, it's going to be 40. 79 times 79 over 40 is going to be. Here the criteria for the existence of a sequence, and the sequence is given to us, and they are asking to find is this general term or not. Firstly, a general term or not, should define a sequence. In which condition it is undefined? Here for the rationals, we have rational expressions. For the rational expressions, we have, if you remember, fx over gx, and gx must be different than 0. If gx is equal to 0, it means that the function is undefined. So if there is a term that gives us the 0, the denominator 0, then this cannot be defined, and this cannot be the term of the sequence. Or if we have a radical function, radicals, when we write the square root in the square root, fx must be always greater or equal to 0. If it is less than 0, the function is undefined. And less than 0, function undefined. Here, equal to 0, it is undefined. That's why this cannot define a general term for the sequence. That's why here we are going to check n minus 2. n minus 2 is equal to 0. Is it equal to 0? N is equal to 2. And we know that 2 is element of natural numbers. And when n is equal to 2, it means that a2 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 1 over 2 minus 2. Here, which is going to be 9 over 0. And also it is undefined for us. It is undefined for us. So if a2 is not term of a sequence, it means that we don't have sequence here. So an is not general term, because 2 is element of natural number, but when you write the 2, the function is undefined. Okay. Now we have the same problem here. This is radical function, and in the radical function, if you remember, I said fx it should be greater or equal to 0. But when I check this one, I recognize that 4 minus n, this is division here, and 2n plus 1. 2n plus 1 cannot be equal to 0. 2n is equal to minus 1. N is equal to minus 1 over 2. This is not element of natural numbers, so this is not going to affect the term. But we have here, inside the root, we have 4n minus 1. And 4n minus 1, 4 minus n, pardon, 4n minus 1 I said, 4 minus n, it should be always greater than 0. But this means that 4 must be greater or equal to n. And it means that here the n you can choose 4, 3, 2, and 1. But if you say a5, the term is a5 is equal to square root of 4 minus 5 over 2 times 5 plus 1, which is equal to square root of minus 1 over 11, which is undefined for us, because in real number, in R, it is undefined in R, so this cannot be general term of a sequence. An is not general term. Okay, the next one. n plus 1 over 2n minus 1 is a general term of a sequence or not. Now, there is no radical expression here, only the denominator. 2n minus 1, I'm going to check, is it equal to 0? 2n is equal to 1, n is going to be equal to 1 over 2, which means this is not element of natural numbers. But instead of n, only I can give natural numbers. So the value that makes the undefined, the denominator, undefined is 1 over 2, and 1 over 2 you cannot also give, because 1 over 2 is not element of natural number. That's why an is general term, is a general term of a sequence. Then if it is a general term, then it says that find a1. a1 is equal to 1 plus 1 over 2 times 1 minus 1, which is equal to 2 over 2 minus 1, which is equal to 2. a2 is equal to 2 plus 1 over 2 times 2 minus 1, which is equal to 3 over 4 minus 1, that's equal to 3 over 3, and it's equal to 1. And a3 is equal to 3 plus 1 over 2 times 3 minus 1 is equal to 4 over 2 times 3. 5 minus 1 is going to be 4, so it's going to be equal to 2 times 3, 6, 5, it's going to be 6 minus 1 is going to be 5, 4 over 5 is going to be, okay, then here it's going to be equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 they are looking for, so we are going to do like this: a1 plus a2 plus a3 is going to be equal to 2 plus 1 plus 4 over 5, which is equal to 3 plus 4 over 5, and 5 times 3 is 15 plus 4 over 5. This is going to be equal to 19 over 5. Okay, so a1 plus a2 plus a3 is going to be equal to 19 over 5. Okay, here this term, this is general term of a sequence, we know that one, and we are going to find the which term is 25, or bn, b what makes 25. We are going to find this one, b what makes 25. And if we try, bn is equal to, let's say, 2n plus 5, and that's equal to 25. Then 2n is equal to 25 minus 5, and n is equal to 2n is equal to 20, and n is equal to 10 is going to be, so b10 is equal to 25, and 10th term of a sequence is 25, we can say here. Okay, then we are going to find the b1. Here the b1 is 17, so bn is equal to 2n plus 5 is equal to 17. 2n is equal to 17 minus 5 it's going to be 2n is equal to 12, n is going to be equal to 12 over 2, so n is equal to 6, which means that b6 is equal to 17, and this is the sixth term of the sequence is going to be. Okay, then for the 96, bn is equal to 2n plus 5 is equal to 96. It's going to be 2n is equal to 96 minus 5. 2n is going to be equal to 91, and n is equal to 91 over 2. And as you see, 91 over 2 is not element of natural number, and n always it must be natural number. That's why 96 is not term of this sequence.